Hey guys, it's just a quick game I played. This is the opponent I played earlier on today. Ended up losing a situation where I could have probably have forced a draw. Anyway, so I was a little bit riled, and he challenged me to a rematch. So we have a rematch. So I've got the white pieces, e4, c5, the Sicilian. So I have been playing this Snyder variation a little bit recently with b3, but in my chess lesson that I had with my tutor the other day, he said I really should be bringing out the knight first before that, maybe to support d4 later on. So bring out my knight first, and now we have e6, the French variation, and now I play b3. So this is the Westerinen attack, all right, but pretty relentless. Now my opponent actually manages to get into some trouble just in the first few moves here by bringing the bishop out here, right, when my bishop is threatened to fianchetto on b2. Now he has an issue. My bishop is eyeing down on the g7 pawn, right? Now obviously he can't allow me to take that pawn. He can't push the pawn. If he pushes f6, that's going to be weakening for his king as well. He can't play the knight out here to defend, and he can't block with the knight because I have e5 with a pawn fork. Right, so this is move 4. Well, he's just played his third move. So he can't block with the knight. Blocking with the pawn just looks horrible. It shuts off the queen, opens up the line to the king. So my opponent plays king f8, which seems kind of reasonable. And now d4. So yeah, when we ask what just happened, my opponent now can't castle. This rook is going to struggle to get into the game. Yeah, this rook might maybe as well. And he's behind on development. He's only developed one piece. I've got two. Okay, and castling is out the window. So now knight e7, and now my second bishop comes into the attack. Love having the bishops paired up on adjacent diagonals like that. Danish style, love it. And now b6. So maybe allowing this bishop into the game. It's probably going to go there, I'd imagine. And now I castle. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and castling's worth 2. I'm up 5, 2 in development because he's had to move his king, and he's made 3 pawn moves as well. Now the knight moves again to g6 and queen d3. So my idea here is actually queen to c3, and then maybe push a pawn, threaten to open up the middle, but the real threat is queen takes g7. And now we have h4, and now my queen comes across to c3, and rook pushes forward, defending this pawn. So he spotted the threat. Okay, now I'm in the middle game, right? I've now completed development, knight to d2, backing up this knight. So this knight might decide to move into the board and then be replaced by its buddy. Queen e7. And now I kind of have to change tack a bit because we've got this kind of light squared little mini pyramid there. So now it's time to think about maybe e5 with an attack on there and a double attack threatening the knight. Now if bishop takes knight, the rook can't recapture. It's got to be recaptured by the pawn. Then we've got double isolated pawns there. That's all good. Now we have knight to c6, and now I execute my plan, right? I'm developed. I'm in the middle game. Black is not in the middle game. Black hasn't completed development and really is going to struggle to get the king. I mean, the king's relatively safe, but he's still got a minor piece on the back rank. So now what I need to do is improve my pieces and start to build up to an attack and think about pawn breaks. So this is a tactical opportunity. I'm double attacking the bishop and the knight, which is actually weak. And we have pawn takes here. So it's attacking my queen, and I calculated this out, right? So if I take the bishop now, yeah, pawn takes queen, but then pawn takes queen with check. So I've won a bishop. So I capture, black recaptures, and now I grab the pawn. Okay, so I'm bishop up for a pawn, bishop to here, potentially eyeing down on my king there, but now I grab the knight, pawn recaptures, and a4 now. So can you see my idea with this move? King's very exposed here, right? But the thing you have to notice is that's the pattern, right? And that is crying out for a pin. Right, now the knight breaks the possible pin. So obviously bishop a3 is my idea to win the queen. Knight breaks the pin. Okay, so what do? I swing my knight around now. So if that knight now cannot move, or else the pin's back on. But now the knight moves, attacking my queen. I simply move my queen out of the way. Now what he should be doing here is reinstate the knight or get the queen off of this diagonal. But instead plays h4 and now bishop a3 and black resigns. So very satisfied. I do love it. I love taking apart the Sicilian when I get the opportunity, but this was just a really good exercise, an example of getting that kind of tactical pressure on very early in the game. I mean, you saw here, even this early now, black is already having to defend a shaky position, even by move 4. So it can be good to, like we say, hit pause on your development and execute those tactics. Well, I mean, I'm not hitting pause on anything here. It's black that has to deviate very, very early on. And from that point on, I think this d4 move is important. I have played this before and neglected to move my d-pawn. So it's okay to capture here. It's absolutely fine. That's the whole idea. That's what the Sicilian's about, and you need to play in the right kind of spirit. So yeah, very satisfying game. Very aggressive. Always nice to get a win like that. So I thought I'd just share that with you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.